A foundational assumption of Marketplace Ministries is that professional foundations and family health form the basis of field stability and strength. Strength and stability are behavioral indices. They are ways that we behave. One acts with strength and stability. Why and how we behave in a certain way is very complicated and is influenced by spiritual, emotional, biological, and cognitive factors. This short course will briefly present why dealing with family of origin issues is important in creating strong and stable behaviors on the field, which are the foundations for all ministry efforts. First, a primer on brain systems that produce behavior. Most neuroscientists and psychologists now summarize multiple brain systems and regions into two general overarching systems: a cognitive conscious system and an unconscious emotional system. The unconscious emotional system regulates automatic emotional responses that are generally outside of conscious control. For example, you wouldn't have to stop and think whether or not to be afraid of a snake if it suddenly emerged from under your desk. This system is often mediated by structures deep in the brain, such as the limbic system and the right hemisphere. The cognitive conscious system is mediated by the outer part of the brain, the cortex. The cortex is where conscious appraisals and thoughts take place. This is where you become consciously aware of what is happening around you. In the above example, after deep brain regions initiate the automatic fear response, your cortex would then say, "I am afraid because of that rattlesnake." A wonderful ability that God created us with is referred to in professional circles as cortical override. Cortical override refers to our ability to use our thinking to inhibit or override our automatic emotional responses. So, for example, the automatic fear response initiated by our encounter with the snake could be overwritten by the thought, "Oh, that's not a snake, it's just an extension cord under the desk." Once our cortex has made this interpretation of the situation, it can inhibit our emotional response as we wipe our foreheads and say, "Phew, sure glad that wasn't a snake." If our cortex doesn't intervene and inhibit the automatic fear response, then we will be under its control and be afraid even when we don't need to be. So what does all this have to do with family of origin issues and being strong and stable while serving overseas? Most psychologists would now agree that emotional and relationship issues generally stem from a disruption in the ability of our cognitive system to inhibit our unconscious emotional one, a disintegration between our thoughts and feelings. When this happens, we act on autopilot and just respond however the automatic responses initiated by our deep brain regions dictate. Acting on automatic responses leads to two family, team, and ministry killing responses: rigidity and chaos. Think about the family or team issues you've witnessed in the past. I bet you can see how most of them are related to someone's rigid inflexibility. For example, if it's not done the way I need it to be done, I can't take it. Or chaotic emotions, as in the case of someone who becomes irrationally angry or irritable. Difficult family backgrounds and troubling experiences while growing up often result in chaotic or rigid response styles. Many foreign workers find that they can deal with these tendencies in the supportive environment of their home countries. However, under the intense stress of international service, these response styles reemerge with a vengeance, leading to unexpected team and family stress and dysfunction. Because of the tendency for family of origin issues to reemerge under times of stress, international workers should be aware of these issues and be willing to address the ones that will result in family or team instability or weaknesses. Addressing issues like this will require a willingness to soul search, a desire to not just respond like you always have, and a deeper openness in your relationship with God. You may find that talking with a trained counselor or pastor is helpful. When you address these issues, you will find you have a deeper understanding and appreciation of God's grace and His deep love for you. You will also find that you have new energy and ability to fight off the attacks of the enemy as you plug areas of vulnerability in your life. And finally, I would encourage you to not hesitate to contact your field leadership if you have any questions about resources that are available to you as you deal with issues that come up from your background or childhood.